Welcome to another edition from the Third Eye View, hosted by myself, Mr. I've seen more than that you've seen in life, aka Stato, aka Stro, and I'm joined by probably the hardest working man in this entire team. As much as I hate to give him props, I've got to give him props. Mr. Cheesing, Mr. Take Note himself.
Out here, you know what I'm saying?
Sing?
Out here, good fam. Life is good. Life is good. Life is good.
Yo.
Life was great. The only issue I had was my football team. Now look, Manchester United Football Club. What did I say last week? No. What did I say last week? I told Chelsea to come outside. What did I say last week on this very show? I told Chelsea to come outside.
Yeah, you did.
Champions of Europe. Champions of what? You know what I'm saying? Michael Carrick moved to Tuchel. Michael Carrick. Big Mikey. Are you laughing at me? Deadly serious. Michael Carrick moved to Tommy Tuchel. And these men are talking about Ragnick and Tuchel.
In the words of Marcus from Bad Boys, I want to be like Mike.
Yeah, you want to be like Mike. You know what I'm saying? Tuchel turned that boy there. Tommy Tuchel, he turned him into Tommy Pickles. Baby that man. You get what I'm saying in that? Wow. Rugrats. Yeah. Baby that man. A man think Tuchel can move to Ragnick. You need to get past Carrick first.
Seriously though, before we get into that.
Go on, talk about it.
You know, you're happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yep.
Do you know who isn't happy?
Go on.
Watford fans.
Go on, what's happened?
Do you know why Watford fans aren't happy?
I have no idea.
Team called #United.
I know you go with this. I know you go with this. Yeah.
We've talked about it before. So, love everything that Spencer's doing. Love everything about the movement.
Yep.
They hosted a 24-hour charity football game, right?
Right. That's.
Ben Foster played.
Yeah.
At 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He didn't play at the weekend because he apparently sustained an injury, a hamstring injury, during said charity game.
Facts. I heard about this. I heard about this. Shout out to Mimi. Love to the queen that is Mimi. And she told me about this. She's been talking about it. So that's all I thought it was something else. But yeah, I heard about this. But if it is true, it's not a good look, is it? It's not a good look.
What do you mean, like giving Paddy Pimblett tickets in the home end, a lifelong Liverpool fan, something like that? Like that's not.
Yeah, that's not a good look. That isn't a good look at all. That's not it.
Listen, I love. Let me just start off with this, yeah, and I'm probably going to get some smoke for this.
Go on, talk about
it. I love seeing the behind the scenes from footballers.
So it's absolutely great.
I love what Ben Foster does. However, I can understand why it would really irritate some Watford fans.
Yeah.
And then you see this news break, and it's just like, yeah, this is not a good look.
It's not. A large up to me in the building. Obviously, we've got producers out here. He's like me, a Manchester United fan, so he's very happy. He's that happy that he rang me after the Villarreal game. To get my thoughts. He rang me. Don't ever lie. He rang me after the Villarreal game. Like, what's going on? Like, that's the first time. Timmy's been here a long time. And that's the first time we've ever had a conversation outside of High Radio about Manchester United.
So, there's only one place we can start.
We'll talk about it. How do you go first?
Manchester United won. Chelsea won.
You talk about it.
Where do I begin?
Talk about it.
You sat there
in this very seat
for months and months and months, and you told me Chelsea look unbeatable. Chelsea don't look like they're going to beat goals.
Yeah.
And I sat there and I told you after watching that Southampton game, I see problems with Chelsea. I see problems with Chelsea going forward. The fact that Reece James is their top goal scorer is worrying to me.
Yeah.
I told you that their defence is absolutely stunning. And it was stunning at Anfield for them to manage for 45 minutes and nick a draw. However, they always say defence can win your titles, but you've got to score goals at the other end.
Absolutely.
That's always been my concern with Chelsea. And then watch that game yesterday. Yeah. And lo and behold, the deficiencies I've been talking about are plain to see. They missed too many chances, wasteful chances.
More so, definitely the Hudson-Odoi one is the one that sticks out. The initial one, that's a bad miss. Really good at the end. But yeah, go on, carry on. I'm going to give my thoughts.
Yeah, that's what I'm about. They're the two I'm talking about. What were chances?
Yeah, they didn't create. I thought he was going to say more. They didn't create enough.
That's my point. That is my concern with Chelsea.
You're right.
And then I'm going to come on to other teams later on who just look like they will not look like they are scoring for fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then I look at it and I'm just like, you like Manchester United. Turn up at the bridge. 3 DMs. Michael Carrick.
Michael Carrick, man.
Drop Ronaldo.
Yeah. Oh, that debate. Oh, Jesus. No, you can talk to me about that.
I thought that. Oh, I thought you were about
Carrick. Just had a show before I landed here. Glad to everyone that looked in. talking about Ronaldo. We had over 200 people in there watching that. It's crazy.
Okay.
It's crazy.
And I thought you were on about Carragher and Keane.
Oh no, we're gonna get into that. Yeah, we've got a lot to talk about.
It's transpired when it comes up. Yeah. What's your thoughts?
We're gonna look at in terms of Chelsea's deficiencies, they have been there. However, they're not gonna play, and this isn't me being biased.
You told me you don't see him dropping many points.
I don't see them dropping many points.
So
I don't see them dropping any points. Yeah, that's drop points yesterday, but they're still top of the league, and I see them bouncing back. You're gonna have them results. You're not gonna win every single game from now to the end of the season.
But is Reece James being your top goal scorer not a problem?
It is a problem, but every team at the top has problems. The thing is, I think they're good enough to navigate around it, is what I'm saying. Yesterday, yes, you're gonna have those. They had one against Burnley. That was one of those games. Again, against Manchester United yesterday. And you'll have more.
But do you not think that they're starting to have these problems at a bad time, and it looks like other teams are starting to pick up?
That's why I disagree. They've had these issues.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, they've had these issues, but they've still managed to navigate wins. Now they've started to drop points in the past 4 or 5 games. That now becomes now a concern.
No, I think once Lukaku's back, that kills that dead. If Lukaku plays against Burnley with that many chances, they win that game. Not so much yesterday, but Lukaku, forgetting that their key attacker is out. This whole thing about, Chelsea play better without Lukaku.
Well, that is another thing I was going to come
to. That's nonsense.
Because I've heard that from a number of Chelsea
That's nonsense. If he's fit, yesterday, I won't go as far as to say they win that game. They create more chances. Yes, if you give him that chance to score, but they create more chances because people miss out having a point. If you take out the best of whether it's Salah at Liverpool, whoever you think the best attacker is at City, whoever you think the best attacker is at Manchester United, if you take out the best attacker, you are going to see a difference. And
more to the point, I think Lukaku would have bullied Lindelof yesterday.
Yeah, because Lindelof, he was shaky at first. He was shaky at the start.
That's what I mean. So imagine going up against Lukaku that early on. Yeah. What's your thoughts?
Well, yeah, my thoughts on it is that's a key thing worth forgetting. Lukaku was not there. The reason why they splashed out and got Lukaku is for these problems. Mm-hmm. Does he eradicate them completely? No. Does he help them? Yes. They don't lose to Burnley. To me, that is perfect. I said this about Lukaku because both City and Chelsea were chasing a striker. Mm-hmm. And I said, he's perfect for Chelsea. He's not perfect for City.
Yeah, we had this.
Yeah, we had this. Because Chelsea are trying to get over the line in the Premier League. City is the Champions League. If you are trying to get over the line in the Champions League, to me, Lukaku is not the guy. If you're trying to get over the line in the Premier League, Lukaku is the guy. People said, he don't score in big games. Chelsea's problems is not big games.
It's the smaller games.
Yeah, Chelsea drawing 1-1 away at Anfield is not going to cost you a league title. Chelsea drawing at home.
If anything, that helps. Going away to your rivals and picking points up. Fergie used to say this all the time.
Yeah. Chelsea drawing against Manchester United, even though it's a Manchester, I think now we have the manager coming in. We're top 4 in the league. So you've played two of the teams in the top 4. Mm-hmm. Drawing at home to Manchester United, if Chelsea don't win the league, we're going to look back at that and go, that's where they lost it. Burnley at home is where you look at it. They beat Norwich 7, but say they dropped points to Norwich. They played Watford, and who's after that? They've got Watford, and who's the other game? Let me check their fixtures. They got Watford midweek, they got Watford Wednesday, and then you've got somebody else. I'll tell you now, 1 second. Just to hammer my point home. Big up to everyone that's locked. Please go get to the comments. Please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel as well. Yeah, you'll be quick on it. And let's go on then. I'm gonna get the results up anyway. So
there we go. Watford, West Ham away, Leeds, Everton.
So they're looking at that. West Ham away will be tough, but they're looking at Watford. They'll be looking to win. 110%. They'll be looking to win against Watford. Where else am I looking at now? Who did you say was after that? You got West Ham away.
Watford, West Ham, Leeds, Everton.
All right, so you got 3 teams in Port. Well, Watford's form is indifferent. You got 3 favourable games, I would say. Yeah. So they're looking at that bounce back. Now, if they draw to Watford, lose to Everton, draw to Leeds, they're the games you're looking at. I'm not looking at the head-to-heads. That's why I wouldn't say yesterday is an issue. Them drawing to Burnley is a bigger issue.
I'm talking about that overall.
Yeah, if Lukaku gets injured, they're in trouble. Long term. Mm-hmm. Short term, they've already shown they can cope. When Lukaku got injured, they was top of the league. Lukaku's been out for a long period, they're still top of the league. Lukaku being back and he only played 10 minutes because Tuchel said he's not fully fit, will be fine. Their defense is still there. They've conceded 5 goals. I think 2 from open play in 13 games or 3 from open play, something crazy like that. So you have a great base to deal with. A lot of averages tells you, just numbers, one of their attackers is going to come good. And I believe that attacker is Lukaku. And maybe if Pulisic can stay fit, maybe he does. Maybe Ziyech gets some form. Hudson-Odoi, even though he missed yesterday, I think Tuchel's figured out, like, I need to play him.
Ain't it amazing?
Talk about it.
Ain't it amazing? Callum Hudson-Odoi, the man that Lampard wanted to let go. Kante is another man that Lampard wanted to let go.
We could talk about Lampard's deficiencies all day long, but go on.
Rudiger is a man that Lampard, he was going to let him go to Liverpool on loan.
That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Anyway, carry on.
That is ridiculous. But yeah, Chelsea's deficiencies is mad. Like I said, we told Chelsea play United and we're here talking about Chelsea's deficiencies. That's never happened. That's all, like, in the words of Stringer Bell, put a word out. We back up. I've been saying this since Ollie got sacked. There's been nothing but rainbows and blue skies and sunshine. That's all it's been, and palm trees and pina coladas, the whole nine. I'm telling you, nothing but good since he's left. Absolutely, he left.
Not exactly.
It was relief. It was fantastic. Now I'm saying in the terms of mood, not the actual weather, the mood. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was going to say pina coladas and the snow's a bit wild.
Yeah, pina. Hey, if you got a point still, but my point is, I wasn't talking literal, but it was an analogy, but okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been nothing. Yeah, no, you're right. It's been nothing but rainbows and blue skies since he left. He left, it was relief. Then it was vindication. Then it was just sheer joy and happiness. Then I'm watching the Villarreal game and I'm like, okay, let's see. I'm looking forward to the game for the first time again since I've been doing this show, since I've been creating content. I'm looking forward to it. Defensively, miles better. That's one thing I will say. I get onto the Chelsea game, against Villarreal. Defensively, miles better. On the ball, not good enough. But what I was looking for was improvement. He dropped Bruno. He came and made a statement of intent. JV said it best. He came in and, I can't even say the analogy you used on radio, but he made a scene. He made a scene is what I'd say. He put everybody on notice. You know what I'm saying? Like, he came in to, you know when you get like, I don't know, like a gambling scene with James Bond and the villain comes in and he slaps like $1 million on the casino table. He's kind of done that.
Yeah.
He's Frank Lucas in the fur coat.
Yeah, but now
that's what he's coming and done.
Two games in a row now, because not only has he dropped Bruno, he's then dropped Ronaldo.
Yes, exactly my point.
Which caused a ripple effect across all the football. Because you've seen the debates online, and we're going to get onto that because I've got a lot to say about that scenario.
So we looked defensively better against Villarreal. Not good going forward, but we looked better defensively against Villarreal. On to Chelsea. To me, the best team in the league, or one of, wherever you won 1, 2, or 3, wherever.
They're 100% one of the best, not just in the league.
In Europe. So they're one of the best teams in Europe. Like, if they won the Premier League or won the Champions League, no one's batting an eyelid. And all I wanted to see was, whether I agreed or disagreed with the lineup, a lineup that I could see the game plan. A formation where I could see the game plan. Even if I disagree with it. And then for Manchester United to try and execute the game plan. I could see what we were trying to do. We couldn't execute it, because the lineup wasn't 110% correct. However, I could see a thought process. I seen that for the first time, I think in Ollie's entire reign, I seen an average position map for Manchester United, and it made sense. I could see the formation and the shape.
Because I seen everyone kicking off at the 3 DMs, and then I looked at Bruno with a false 9 and I thought, right there. I don't quite mind that, because he can still pick up the pockets of space, but he can still press. Because that was the big issue against Liverpool, which you were pressing, but there was no triggers to it.
Yeah.
Sancho and Rashford are light because of 4. And you know what? When you go 1-0 up and Sancho nicks the ball off Jorginho and you're on the halfway line, I'm thinking it's not so much a masterclass, but in a sense, like, do you know what I mean? Like, he's done exactly what the game plan is exactly how he wanted it to go.
Yeah, there was a game plan, and this was the debate, because I was on a live stream when the lineup came out, and we were trying to debate, what is it? Is it a back 3? Is it Bruno in a false 9? Is it similar to the formation he played against Villarreal? It's kind of a diamond, and that's really what it was. It was Matic at the base of the diamond, Fred left, McTominay right, Bruno kind of in the 10, and then Rashford and Sancho kind of split strike, because our ball retention was off. In terms of ball retention and keeping the ball and going forward, we were not proactive enough. No. We were way too negative, too many. Because I'm now watching the game and I'm emotionally back with my football team now. So I'm watching the game like, we're not watching on what I'm seeing what's what like. I'm seeing Bruno for what he is like. You see this bright light? That's what happened to Bruno. Because he was awful yesterday.
Well, we are going to come on to Bruno.
He was horrendous. But because I didn't care previously too tough, because I'm like, whether he plays well or not, the results, it don't matter because we're not doing anything. Now there's something on it. At one point, I counted 7 times he got the ball in a row and he lost it 6 times.
Yeah.
You cannot do that.
He can't get out of tight spaces. That's his problem. Now, here's a question. Is there anyone that stood out for you? I know it was one game. Is there a certain player that stood out where it's like, you know what?
I thought Matic was good at screening. Because I think it's maybe it's because the job I do, whether I play in real life because I play in DM, whether it's pro clubs, and it's a job that only a manager,
You are a silky DM though.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
A silky DM though.
Like I said, once we get rich, I'm back to playing ball. Well, man's got to go chase this back. But I want to get back playing football 100%. But that's what I'm saying. It's a job that the manager, fullbacks as well. I've noticed when I play football, I always have great relationships with the fullbacks, like on the pitch, off the pitch.
Yeah.
Because they understand the job I do that helps them, and I understand the job that they do that helps me, type of thing. Whereas on the naked eye, you're not seeing that. You can't really show screening.
Yeah,
there's no way to show it. You get what I'm saying? Like Fabinho does a brilliant job.
To say, apart from the odd one where they'll do something like DMs are fan favourites. Fabinho's a Liverpool fan favourite because they see the job.
Sorry to cut you off. I bet it's, if you talk to the fans who go week in, week out, they'll tell you how good he is. I've been saying this for the longest. Fabinho's the best DM in the league. I think he's incredible. I think he's incredible.
His honestly,
I think he's incredible. Well, yeah, go on. Carry on what you're saying about DMs.
Because you see the difference in. I'm going to throw his name out there. I thought McTominay had a stunning game yesterday.
I wouldn't say he was stunning.
No. But what I mean is, he's set. In games like that, you need the tempo. You need someone to go in, set the tempo for you. Someone to be a leader. So I say this to my team. In working at football, is the 2 types of leaders, right? You've got your vocal leader and you've got your lead by example. Gerrard was the lead by example. He'd both set the tone early. Andy Robertson is the best example, right? Simicast for the past couple of games that he's played. And Bizzo said this, not Bizzo, Alex said this when we were doing the fan camera was Simicast is the one where he'll set the tone and he'll set the tempo in terms of the stadium by going and winning that first big tackle.
Yeah.
What I mean by stunning yesterday was he played above his age. He was going out and he was in Chelsea's faces, he was setting the tempo, he was nasty when he needed to be.
So you're talking about from a defensive standpoint?
Yes.
Okay, that makes more sense. I was going to say on the ball. Like
No, not on the ball. I'm talking about doing his job. He did everything and more. He was in Chelsea's face when he needed to be. He pressed like a demon yesterday at times. And this is coming from a Liverpool fan. I enjoyed his performance. Because if I was Carrick in that position, I'd look at him and go, "You've done everything I've asked of you and more." You seen it? He's squaring up to Rudiger. He's squaring up towards him, and you need that. That is what when you look back at the Liverpool game as a scenario. Ronaldo does that to Curtis Jones. One of them backed it. Yeah. McTominay was the first there whenever it came to it, and I was like, you know what? He can hold his head high for this performance.
You know what's crazy? I actually sat down and watched it. It was the McTominay one, and there was someone else who squared up to somebody who was like, might have been Ronaldo and Rudiger again. I'm not sure, but I was like, oh, it's Fred and Rudiger. I'm like, I like that. Like, show something. Do something disruptive. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, it was all Chelsea pretty much. Do we need to be better on the ball? Absolutely. But yeah, I thought Matic was good in terms of screening. What Carrick's done is using Fred better. Like, we all know Fred's best attributes is not picking up the ball in the 6 off the centre backs. Play him higher up the pitch. You play him higher up the pitch and you see a better him. Go on.
If it's Mata, he chips Mendy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If it's Mata, but that's Fred's deficiencies. But that was bad. But what I'm saying is his overall game, he wasn't terrible yesterday because how come Carrick is so good? Everybody was like, oh, they do the coaching, but all of a sudden it's now Fred playing higher up the pitch. That's Ollie's decision. But people will tell me that Ollie had no input. That's Ollie's decision to play 4-2-3-1. Because Fred picking up the ball off the 6 is not what you want. We heard Troy Deeney say when Watford played against him, Fred was the trigger. When Fred gets the ball pressing, and Watford did that game.
Can I just say, this is why I love Troy Deeney, right? This man openly said, and this was before this became, I think, he was the first player to ever come out and say exactly what fans were thinking when he spoke about Arsenal last year.
Yeah, of course.
Then when he said
because he said it on BT, and that's a big national platform. We're on Pirate Radio, which is also a massive national platform. Goes out to just, the measly 500,000 listeners. But yeah, you can say cojones on it.
But okay, so yeah, he said that Arsenal lack cojones, right? And everyone was shocked and stunned by this. It rattled Arsenal fans. It rattled Arsenal
I'm saying
players.
2017.
I know,
Still going back
this
now.
is what I'm saying.
2017.
Right?
One game.
Yeah, I know. So, and it was at, and I'll never forget the game because it was at Vicarage Road. I'll never forget it, right? Because he said exactly what every pundit, every fan, nationwide was thinking.
For the longest.
Right?
Yeah.
Then look at Manchester United when Fred's in the number 6.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was thinking it. And then you hear Troy Deeney saying it's like, wow, teams are actually actively, openly going, here's the weak link. You've
So
gone for that.
when he's on the ball. So you know what you do?
Don't give him the ball.
Take the ball away from him while getting higher on the pitch.
Yeah.
I do that as a 6. You have to know your self-awareness. I play the 6. I'm not the best in the press. So if the centre-backs or the full-backs have the ball and being pressed, I'm saying the space in behind, clip it down the line. Clip it to the 10 or one of the wingers. The space is there. Why are you putting me under unnecessary pressure? That makes no sense. If you're good in the press, cool. But not self-awareness. Or maybe even don't come forward for the ball, go longer, go a bit more direct. And that's my whole point about it. Fred, all of a sudden, he got almost twice now in 2 back-to-back games. Fred, he got the assist for the Ronaldo goal because he's pressing high against Villarreal. Almost scored the goal against Mendy, and he should have done better with that, absolutely. But I know that's not his game. But look what happens when you put players in their better positions. You utilize players and utilize their best attributes. We all know what Fred's very good at, and we all know what he's not good at.
And 2-2 for Sancho.
Amazing.
Well,
amazing.
It's amazing. It's almost as if the player that you chased for 2 years and spent £85 million on is actually starting to come to the forefront because you played in his regular position.
It's mad.
What a surprise!
It's crazy.
You know what?
You play players in position.
Who would have known?
Yeah. Well, 110%.
Wild.
But hey, all these out the wheel, innit? You know what I'm saying? Big up you, look. All the others have a quiet. You got man out here denying him now. I wasn't on you. Alright, sure.
Can we talk about penalty?
Yeah, talk about it. It was a penalty. 100%. You don't think it was a penalty?
I do. I just don't know what Wan-Bissaka is doing.
That's it. You know what? He's gone to clear the ball. I'm not going to, even though he's been poor recently, I'm not going to get into about it. Because if he doesn't clear that ball, and who was it? Thiago Silva touches it to the edge of the box, and someone rifles it top corner, we're all like Wan-Bissaka.
The only reason why I'm saying it because I've seen Lovren concede a penalty to Harry Kane. I've seen us get penalties for it. I've seen United get penalties for it. I've seen Chelsea get a penalty for it. Yeah. Like, it's just a bit of awareness. Before you swing your foot, just a little look. As a professional footballer, and a professional at any level, you're always told, when you receive the ball, always have a look over your shoulder. That's all he needed to do. Yeah. Before he swung his foot, just have a quick look to the left, and he'd have seen it was coming, and he'd have just gone like that.
But again,
but to me, that's him not in the best form.
Absolutely not.
And he's just panicking, thinking, I need to get rid of it. That's the issue there.
That is the issue, but another issue, and Peter brought this up, shout out to my guy Peter, who's a Chelsea fan for those that don't know. He said, when you are just defending deep and you're giving up possession and giving up the ball and giving up set pieces, bear in mind, Chelsea had 15, 16 corners at that point. I think that was the 15th or 16th corner. The margin for error is completely low. So that's why I'm not sticking on Wan-Bissaka like that. That's more than mentality. There's no way we should be going to the bridge and they have 15, 16 corners. And that's why I will criticize Carrick, all jokes aside, for our mentality not being proactive enough. We could have got a win from them. All we needed to do was be a little bit more brave. His subs were wrong. Yep. Why Ronaldo came on the pitch, I don't know. Why Donny didn't come on sooner, I don't know. Why Bruno stayed on for as long as he did, I don't know, because he was playing against us.
Came on to the pressure.
The thing is, he felt the pressure. We won, and you shouldn't do that. We're 1-0 up at that point. And I was just having this big debate with Statman. We just had a massive debate about it on my channel. And I'm saying, he's like, Ronaldo has to start, because obviously the Keenan Carragher thing, which we'll go into, which is brilliant. And before we go into, before that, we get into that fully, I'm saying, Ronaldo is, Manchester United are going to play on the counter-attack. We have better options in those forward areas than Cristiano Ronaldo. But how Statman Baines took it and how CR7, I can't even call them stans because I'm a Ronaldo stan and they make me look bad. All I'm saying is we have better options available there. I know we don't. I'm like, on account, we have Rashford, we have Greenwood, we have Martial, we have Sancho. In
terms of moving the ball, in terms of receiving the ball, carrying the ball and getting good yards from it, getting in behind with pace, you know what I mean? And listen, Ronaldo was my favourite ever player.
No, this is the point. Ronaldo's insane. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the best players.
But in terms of picking a ball up 20 yards out of your own box and carrying it 60, 70 yards, you'd rather Ronaldo was on the receiving end and Rashford carrying it.
100%.
So what you're saying isn't wrong.
And that's my point. And they made out like I was criticising him, and I've said Ronaldo can be effective with a counter-attacking game plan. I'm not saying he can't. What I'm saying is there's better options. So I would say, if you're a Liverpool, Strong's a Liverpool fan. Guarantee you, when we play away at Liverpool, if United go there with a counter-attacking game plan, which is possible, but let's say the player you want playing as a Liverpool fan is Cristiano Ronaldo. He's not trying to see Greenwood up top, or Rashford, or Martial. If you're playing a high line against Manchester United, or you're pressing them, you want Ronaldo up top. Boom.
So, Real Madrid, I watch a lot of Real Madrid, best mate's a Real Madrid fan. Cristiano Ronaldo, towards the end of his time at Real Madrid, and at times people play the counter-attack.
Yeah.
He wasn't the one that was carrying the ball.
It's not his game.
John was carrying the ball. Gareth Bale on the other side. Vinicius Jr. Benzema would carry the ball from time to time. Modric, Cruz, Asensio. More importantly, though, the one person who would carry it time and time again, he would always play in big games on the right wing, Lucas Vazquez. Why? Because he's got pace and he can carry the ball a lot, long yards. So what you're saying isn't incorrect.
Yeah. And again, they took it like, you say he can't play in that style. No, I'm not saying he can't, because Ronaldo can still shift. Mm-hmm. He still has acceleration. He's still quick. There's just better options. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. And from a counter-attacker, I'm not saying Martial's better than Ronaldo. I'm not saying Rashford or Greenwood or Lingard are better footballers than Cristiano Ronaldo. It's all about styles. And that 1-0 up at the bridge, Greenwood's on the bench, Martial's on the bench, Lingard's on the bench. They're your options. Mm-hmm. If you're going to take off Sancho and Rashford, cool. Rashford wasn't good. I'm not saying he was. People got that mistaken. Rashford wasn't good. Sancho was decent. But if you're going to take them both off, you put on Martial and Greenwood. Mm-hmm. And Bruno should have got it. You put Lingard in the 10. You even give some goals, 1-2s. Well, it is what it is. But all right, we'll go into it. Keane versus Carragher.
Right,
Carragher versus Keane.
Before we get into it,
I just want to say Hasselbank is all of us in that moment. That's what I want to say. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank.
Did you see Neville's video?
Yeah, I did see Neville's video.
So, what side of the fence do you want in terms of the debate on what was said?
I'm with Carragher.
Right, okay.
I can't believe I'm saying that. Roy Keane is my favorite one of my favorite Manchester United players of all time. He's my favorite Manchester United captain of all time. I think he's the best captain in Premier League history. But I'm going to get onto the jobs for the boys line that Nuruddin's been saying for 2 years now. You know what I'm saying? Probably even longer.
Put some respect
on Nuruddin's name. Nuruddin's been saying that. Like all these bars that we've been saying, he's been saying that jobs for the boys. Jobs for the boys. Where's the structure? That's what he's been saying for the longest.
There's the structure inside.
I'm with Carragher on it. I'm watching it. I'm with Carragher. I'm like, what is going on?
Because this is my take on it, yeah.
Talk about it.
I sat there and I watched it. And I'm not just saying this because I love Carragher. I'm a Liverpool fan. Carragher's a Liverpool legend. What he said was 100% spot on. And you know that it's spot on by the reaction of Roy Keane.
Talk about it. Go further. I'm listening to it.
Because the argument was Cristiano Ronaldo should be using these big games, yeah? Mm-hmm. And what Carragher was saying was the only reason why Ronaldo was brought in is one, to prevent City from getting him, which is true.
I said that.
Right? But also what he's saying is that it's nonsense that Ronaldo shouldn't be dropped. It's nonsense that Ronaldo should play every big game because there's game plans that go into the big game, right? And what he's saying is Ronaldo was brought in not to win you an FA Cup, not to make you finish fourth, because you were finishing fourth and you were challenging for trophies anyway in terms of cup. You finished second last year. You go and get Varane, 40 million. You go and get Sancho, 85 million. Ronaldo then comes knocking at the door and the opportunity is there. You then authorise that sign of Ronaldo to take you to the next level. Is exactly what Jamie Carragher was saying.
Right.
What Roy Keane was saying didn't make any sense to me.
Talk about it.
Because in one sentence he's talking about, this is Manchester United. And in the next sentence you're talking about, but no, we should be challenging for top four with Cristiano Ronaldo and going for the FA Cup. What are you talking about, mate? We're not... Make it make sense to me. Because I'm confused.
You know what it was? Because he switched the argument because he's saying...
He switched the argument because he was losing?
Yeah, because he said...
How many times have you been arguing with your missus, right? And then losing the argument, and they just flip it to whatever their argument is in their head. This is exactly what it was.
I'm going to plead the fifth.
Listen, then I'm not trying to get any...
Yeah, that's why I'm pleading the fifth.
This ain't wild out.
I'm pleading the fifth. I'm just opening my phone up. I'm pleading the fifth. I'm opening my phone up. But I'm pleading the fifth on that one. But in regards to the argument, because Keane was saying that's where Manchester United are, and he's not wrong when he's saying Manchester United are currently a cup team. However, where he was wrong is the aim. The aim is to win the Premier League and challenge for the Premier League and the trophies.
When you finish second and you sign one of the, in some people's eyes, the best ever player, that is to take you then to that next level.
I didn't go Sancho as well.
Not go back, as in finishing for the top four. No, you authorise that signing of Ronaldo after you've authorised the signing of Sancho and Varane. That's to make you go and win the league. Because you've got a squad to go and win the league. So what Carragher was saying was true, right? Then Rio Ferdinand gets involved. Have you seen Ferdinand?
Nah, what did Ferdinand say?
Ferdinand basically says that he's fine. He was struggling. He was struggling to understand, or he was struggling to take Carragher seriously when he was talking about it, because Carragher's never won a Premier League. Carragher should only have conversations about football and talking about going on and winning stuff when it's a cup, because Liverpool only ever won cup competitions. Right. Listen, Ferdinand. Tell me what Carragher said was false. Tell me what. This is how you know that Carragher has rattled United legends. The fact that they're all coming out the woodwork now.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm trying to read it, and I've just seen Carragher's profile pic me. Hasselback is still killing me. Yo.
Yeah,
it's mad.
Listen, right, and I need people to understand this. Yeah, Liverpoolians are different. They've got a banter which not many people can handle. Carragher will go all day with this.
Yeah, and it pains me to admit it. He's right. So what it was, obviously, Carragher mocked Ferdinand with the put the contract on the table. So then Rio responded and said, Carragher, stop arguing about league titles with a man that's won multiple league titles, Roy Keane versus Carragher. And I don't like that, because that's nothing to do with nothing. So that means only people who have won league titles can talk about it. Is that what we're saying? Like, which is nonsense. That is nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
No, wait. Leave a certain bit out.
What do you mean?
The last bit. Going to, because I want to talk.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So he says going, so then he said, not talking titles, but the deal for Ronaldo to Man United, which you arranged. With a pit and eyes laughing. He said, no Premier League for me, but skyline my opinions. No trophies in your career without Alex Ferguson, and when you stop winning the Premier League at United, you tried to move to Chelsea.
That's the bit I wanted you to leave out. So,
please to stop giving it a big Manchester United fan one. # Ollie's at the wheel.
Listen to me. People need to understand this, right? Liverpoolians are a different breed. I've got Liverpoolians in my family. I go to Liverpool games. There is a reason why Liverpool fans and certain Everton fans will have banners and signs basically saying that Liverpool is its own nationality, because it's a different world out there. Carragher grew up with that kind of quick-witted banter, instantly on the spot, be able to reply. Yeah. You're playing games with the wrong person here, Ferdinand. Because what did he do instantly? He went straight for the throat. With the, listen, when you started to try, I think you tried to join Chelsea, which you did.
I didn't know about that.
I did. It's not common knowledge to the public, but yeah, it happened.
And so I knew every day.
And the fact, and you know, Carragher sat there laughing, thinking I've got one up here. And then it feeds into the Sky and BT Sport rivalry, the fact that them two are going back and forth, and the fact that Carragher's on the Sky like my opinions.
Yeah, I like the fact that it didn't get serious though. I like that. But imagine everyone in the comments as well, we will get to them. Obviously, me and Joe got a lot to get through on that. Well, like, actually, we go to this. Big up to Riaz, who says, yo, love your vids. Big up to you. King says, big up Flawless. Steph Brown says, hi, guys. And he just put Ralph. King saying, I think it's going to be Liverpool and City again. Najib to Sasha says, big up Flawless and Stroll. Hope you and everyone in the chat are good. Hope you're good, Sasha, as well.
I hope you're good.
Big up the panel. Flawless, we're shocking, man. Finishing needs to improve. Stroll talk about Timo Pullman, so that's C1. We're talking about Werner, etc. We will get to the rest as well, don't worry. But yeah, back to the Carragher Keane thing. Go on, continue on it, and Carragher Rio as well.
Carragher's just rattled an entire legend of United because you see them all going out, woodworking. Listen, I love Keane as a pundit. I wish Keane was in the Sky Studio the day that we won 5-0.
Oh, he needed to be that way. Yeah. They missed a trick with that.
That is viral.
They missed a trick with that.
Viral.
They missed a trick with that.
But you don't see them going back and forth, and it's just like Keane was flipping and flopping his arguments, which was wild to me. Carragher just, listen, won a Premier League or not, this man knows his football.
Absolutely, he's a great pundit. Because he's one of the few pundits that's called out Ollie from early.
But he's one of the pundits that can argue a point and will make you look silly. He made Keane look silly yesterday. Fast forward to today, he's then made Rio Ferdinand look silly. He's got time.
Yeah.
Leave the man alone.
Okay.
Leave the man alone. Just leave him alone. It ain't worth it. He's both look silly in terms of defending Ollie time and time again. He's come back to bite you in the bottom. Leave the man alone.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Carragher was spot on with it. Like this whole thing, gone are the days where a player just plays because of his name and his talent. Football is now much more of a system game. Like we talk about it, like we've been talking about pressing and things of this nature and styles of play. This wasn't a conversation like that 20 years ago. 10 years ago, it wasn't really a conversation like that. Even 8 years ago when United last won the league, it wasn't a conversation like that. Now we're talking about, it's more and more like boxing / and UFC, like combat fighting, where you have fighters who have certain styles. Like there might be a certain gym where a certain fight, all the fighters, no matter the weight class they come from.
I can go through MMA, so it's like AKA, which is Daniel Cormier's, Khabib's, Cain Velasquez. It's a wrestling heavy gym.
This is my point. So I bet all of the UFC fighters that come from there are all wrestling. Like wrestling is their first attribute, isn't it? And that's
wrestling.
Yes.
And it's like then you've got like the Black Zillions gym, which is they are more traditional martial artists. You've then got the Whereas Gracie gym, who are more jiu-jitsu based, and do you know what I mean? Who trained under the Gracie BJJ. So it's like you will have different styles, which is why I love MMA. It's so fascinating. But you then look at different coaches, and they've got different styles, which is why the Premier League's so fascinating, because you look at it. Pep's got a style of play.
Yes.
Klopp's got a style of play. Tuchel's got a style of play.
Even David Moyes at West Ham.
David Moyes has got a style of play.
Yeah.
And it's like Eddie Howe's now coming with a style of play. He's always had a style of play, and I can tell you exactly what that is, and we'll come on to that later on. But all of them have got styles of play, and it's good to see. Gone are the days of the 4-4-2.
Yeah, and gone are the days where a player just plays like it's horses for courses. Certain games Ronaldo won't suit, and I have Manchester United to win that game, and that's fine. If Ragnick comes in and the game comes up and he drops Ronaldo to the bench because he thinks Ronaldo is not best suited for Manchester United to win this football match, I'm all for it. I'm in Ralph we trust. I'm cool with that. And yesterday, even though it's Carrick in the dugout, I thought he was best suited. He was there for the game plan and what we're trying to do. Sancho, Rashford, Greenwood, Martial, Lingard, all of them are better suited as in what Manchester United are trying to do. Mm-hmm. And we shouldn't have brought on Ronaldo. If we're chasing the game and you bring on Ronaldo, cool. I want to look. No, that's not the game plan. No, that's not the game plan. But United got a draw. It is what it is. What result do you want to go on to next? You want to go on to your mob?
Yep.
All right, go on to your mob.
I'll let you start.
Liverpool 4, Southampton 0. No surprise, no shock. I didn't watch the game. I heard Liverpool play very well going forward. I heard Southampton had chances and missed chances. Them missing chances is not a surprise. I believe they had the second lowest goal scorers in the league.
To be fair, the chances they had were from our mistakes. Like
individual errors.
Alisson rolled one to Thiago on the edge of the box. Thiago tried to play a pass back and under-hit it. Yeah. And Alisson had to come out and basically mop up. Yeah. A minute in, we're 1-0 up. Jota.
You are playing the Fantasy Premier League team.
And Andy Robertson, who's now got competition from Simicast and some serious competition. And what does he do? 1 minute in, on the overlap. See you later, mate. There's your assist. Like, this team, I said this, and I'm going to continue to say this. Count Liverpool out at your peril.
I'm going to continue to do that. I was actually going to debate. Was it today? Slightly today on the show. The Q&A yesterday. Liverpool fans in the comments all about you don't goals in the title race.
Now Ryan needs to chill. I will say that because the WhatsApp you said he was wild.
Well, he counted you out after you drew to Brighton. Said our game management is not good enough. He quadruples back on that.
He needs to chill.
Quadruples back on
He
that.
has to chill. Yeah. I told him he has to chill.
He had a quadruple vodka and coke. That's what he had. You know what I'm saying?
Like, he had a quadruple bump to the head because it's wild. But yeah, listen, count Liverpool out, you will. Liverpool are notoriously great and notoriously the best when we're underdogs. Keep counting us out, please, because what I mean by that is you then look at it, right? Liverpool broke a Premier League record and broke a club record in terms of most back-to-back consecutive games where we've scored 2 or more goals. Done it again.
Impressive.
And then you look at it and it's. Have you seen who the top 3 goal scorers are in the league?
Is it Salah? You got 2 of the 3.
No, we've got 3.
You got all 3, so it's not bad anymore.
No, so it's Salah, then Jota, then Mane, Jota on the same, and then Vardy.
Okay.
Have you seen who the top 2 assists are?
No, who's it going?
Salah and Trent.
Yeah, you going forward is no problem.
But this is what I'm saying. So us going forward isn't a problem, right?
Yeah, slice.
The only issue Liverpool have slightly had is defensively we needed to tighten up a bit. Now guess what?
Fabinho and Thiago.
There you go. Because Thiago, when you look at him in his Bayern Munich game, in his Bayern Munich days, you look at him in his Barcelona games, he works well in a double pivot. Fabinho and Thiago in a double pivot, look at the difference. Yeah. You've then got Henderson to just float about and operate, which then means when Trent goes forward, Henderson's back in the position where he needed to be, because then what does he do? He slots right back in. And look at the impact Trent's having this season. Which is why I was getting so frustrated last season when I was trying to explain the reason why Liverpool weren't performing at the level they were. Is purely because we are a system-based team. It's like a clock, right? And you've got different bits that make the clock function. If one of them is slightly off, that clock doesn't work. You then go to check the time and it's not working because underneath it, you've got so many different moving parts. The fullbacks, in order for them to bomb forward, you need both of the defensive midfielders and your midfield to be willing to then sit in when you've got that. You take Fabinho and Henderson out of that, you've not got that anymore. So then what happens? They then have to go into centre back, which then means Trent can't bomb forward in the way that he is. Liverpool weren't scoring enough goals last season, correct me if I'm wrong. Right. Now look at us. We've got a midfield that functions well. Trent and Robertson are going forward. Not just that, we've then got Sinister who can come in, who's doing the exact same job that Robertson's doing. Trent's
system, innit?
This is what I'm saying. Because Klopp buys players suited to his system. Tuchel will buy players suited to his system. Yeah. Same with Pep.
Yeah, I'll do the same, yeah.
Look at Jota. I remember Wolves fans were saying, I can't believe we fleeced Liverpool for £45 million. Not saying that anymore, either. Yeah. Look at the impact this man's had. To
me, Jota was always going to be a good sign for Liverpool. I don't see as a bad one.
No, but look at the impact this man's now had.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying, but this man's now scoring goals for fun. And then you look at it. Look, everyone talks about the lack of squad depth and stuff like that. Obviously, Chamberlain's coming in and had 2 of the best games to see him in the past 3 years. Injury. Milner's now coming back. Kanate. I knew he'd start at the weekend after what happened in the Champions League, and lo and behold, there's Kanate. And the size of this man. And you know what? You know when I say like you need a bit of life and you need that little something? Yeah. Watching Van Dijk score that goal at the Cop End just ignited something in Liverpool, because I don't know if you've seen it when he scored and he's got big Kanate in front of him, he just leans his head on him as if he's relieved. And you've seen the reaction that then had at the Cop, and everyone just went wild. That, you don't realise it, because I can name you times where United, when you're going for a title, something little would spark something.
Yeah. When you watch Premier League years, it lets you know like certain games, certain moments that can spark something to kick on, make you kick on during the season. That,
considering everything that Van Dijk went through and what he means to Liverpool and stuff like that, it's like us getting top 4 last season. When Alisson scored that header and did that interview, and he's talking about his dad and he gets so upset, I knew we were getting top 4. I came in and said this to you at the time.
You did.
And we were miles away from it, because there's just that little something in the dressing room. That could be it. And like I said, I'm happy that people are counting us out this title race. I'm more than happy to play third fiddle to City and Chelsea, because listen, title races for Liverpool and City for the past couple of seasons, this has been done by Christmas realistically.
True. We are actually going to get, for the first time in probably 3-4 years, a genuine title race, even if it's done by, say, game 34 or 35. It's not going to be done by Christmas.
This is going to get interesting. Yeah. This is where January then kicks in.
Even December, I'm looking here because obviously it's midweek games. You got Everton, you got the Merseyside derby, and then you play Wolves away. 2 big games.
Yeah, 2 tough games.
2 big games. Yeah. 2 tough games, 2 big games, 100%. And you drop points in one of those. That is genuinely believe that. And this is the type of run where I'm like, if you get 6 from 6, I'll be like, I might have to readdress this. I'm looking at the run. There are 2 tough games. Villa at home. Obviously, Gerrard coming back. We will touch on that as well and get your thoughts. That's key. And then you've got Newcastle at home, Spurs away, Leeds at home, Leicester away.
Then the game after that.
Yeah, it's Chelsea at the Bridge. But the reason why I stopped at Leicester because up until New Year, because obviously it's 28th of December, Leicester Liverpool. That's a favourable run. So if you get through these next 2 games, you fancy yourself. I can see you are dropping points in it. But if you get 6 from 6, same way if City gets 6 from 6, Chelsea gets 6 from 6, because the Christmas period, you know how packed it is. So game, 1, 2, 3, 4 days, you have to.
But what I'm saying is
get results.
And the reason why I'm saying this is gone are the days where you drop points and you're at the title race and someone runs away with it. So for example, let's say we do drop points in the next 2 games, right? Chelsea are going to drop points at some point. City are going to drop points. This title race will go right down to the wire, and this is something.
You reckon game 38?
I reckon game 37.
Yeah, I reckon that's about right. I say 35. I say earlier actually. I say 35, 36.
But what I'm saying is you're going to get an actual title race now compared to other seasons, like the season that we won it.
Ran away with it.
The season before that, City ran away with it. And then the only time that they didn't is when we pushed them right to the last game and it was by 2 points.
That was a good time. Shame between these 2.
But this is what I'm saying. So, listen. There's just a difference in Liverpool this season in terms of you see the way Klopp's operating, you see the interviews that these players are having. And listen, I'll tell you the difference. When the Champions League draws, just going off slightly, group of death is what everyone told me when Liverpool drew Atletico Madrid, 18 Lampard. Paul. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did we not have this conversation?
Yeah, we did. People were calling it a group of death, and I was like,
we've got more points than all of them combined. Yeah. Did you see Thiago's goal at the weekend? I mean, not the weekend, in the midweek.
It was good. Yes, it's very, very.
And then he follows it up with another goal.
Yeah.
Listen, going for Mane's back to.
You gas now in it, Sean. Let's go.
No, gas. I told you
should be.
No, but I said this to you weeks ago.
I'm saying you should be gassed as a Liverpool fan. Like, as a Bridget, I'm happy for you. As a United fan, absolutely.
Listen.
But when you drop points, I'll be here on Monday.
Let me just tell you this. Mohamed Salah's going to win Golden Boot.
Yeah.
Mohamed Salah's going to win PFA Player of the Season.
Yeah.
Liverpool are on smoke. Let me tell you.
Okay. I'm listening. I just disagree, but I'm listening.
Listen, you disagree.
I am. I've said this from the jump. It's going either to the blue side of Manchester or the blue side in West London.
You wish.
Yeah, that's what it is. I don't wish. Why would I wish it to go to City?
Nah, because you pray it to go to us.
I don't want it to go to all City. I don't want Chelsea to have it.
Nah, you do.
I'd rather they just. They're talking about lockdown.
We've already had this discussion. You choose Chelsea and City over us every single day.
Lockdown. Chelsea, yes, definitely, without question. City's one of them.
No, it's not. Over Liverpool, you know.
But now, you know what?
Think about when I came in.
Yeah, if City, the biggest
league.
Yeah, if City.
Remember that?
Yeah, that is
one. And I was singing.
But I know annoying City fans as well. The problem is, shout out to all the Liverpool fans in Liverpool. You're annoying as well. We got to James, Coppish.
You know it. You know it's worse.
I don't know.
Don't try and wear it. You know it's worse. It's okay to admit we are now in church. It's okay to.
This is church.
It's like, come on.
Now here's the thing though, all jokes aside.
It's okay to confess.
If City win the league, that means he's won 4 in 5.
It clears your soul.
He's won 4 in 5.
It clears your soul.
If Pep wins the league title, he's won 4 in 5.
Regardless of that, regardless of that,
you know what? I'm gonna
agree
with Neville on that. It's like picking a guy to nick your wife. He's spot on.
Listen,
he is spot on.
Listen,
either way, man. You know, like in cartoons, when they're like they'll be like in a little river, and like one will be like rainbows and blue skies, and one of them's like darkness and clouds and all that. They're both darkness and clouds. You just pick your poison.
No, but what? Yeah, but come on, like there's no way.
I do dislike Liverpool. I do dislike Liverpool more.
That's my point. And it would hurt more if being us. Like, do you remember how bad it was when I was singing?
Yeah, it was bad. You were just I'm trying to do promo runs and you were talking about being champions of England.
Listen, right, it's one of the. I'm going to share this again. Yeah. It was one of the best clips you will ever see. Flossie trying to do a promo.
I'm talking about the show.
Yeah. And you just literally see him go. What do you want, yo?
Yeah, what do you want? You know what I'm saying? You say talking rubbish.
I was singing. I was doing the most.
Yeah, he was doing too much. Yeah.
Did you see the goals?
I didn't see all the Liverpool goals, no. Didn't see all the Liverpool goals. I say, I was busy because I was doing watch-alongs. I gotta say, people have been doing a lot of watch-alongs. So that's what it is. But I didn't see all the goals. However, though, on to Southampton. Not surprised that they missed chances. Like I said, they're the second. Let me check. I believe they are the second lowest scoring team in the Premier League. And this is why I predicted them to go down.
Yeah,
Once they sold Ings, I was like, show over. Like, they're currently sat 50. They Burnley didn't play, and we'll get into that. But they're 5 points from the drop currently. They scored 11 goals. Only Norwich have scored less. Newcastle United have scored more than them. Burnley have scored more. Leeds, who haven't had Bamford for however long, have scored more. And that will be their downfall. That will be their downfall. 110%. But we will find out. What game do you want to go into next?
What game do you want to go into next?
Alright, we'll pull up the results right now. Make sure you hit the like button on the video, people, whether you're watching live or watching this back. Subscribe to the channel. Get your questions in as well. We're keeping Premier League related. So we spoke on Chelsea 1, Manchester United 1. We also spoke on Liverpool 4, Southampton 0. And we'll go on to actually, because they've been the talk of the town, big takeover, new manager coming in, etc., etc. Arsenal 2, Newcastle 0. Not so much Arsenal winning, because I expected Arsenal. I wasn't. But Newcastle, I've been saying this, are in big trouble. If they don't sign players in January, they don't get that January transfer window correct, they are getting relegated. 110%. And that's not a shot at Eddie Howe. You can get whatever manager you want. Then players are just not good enough.
Oh no, you know it's not a shot.
The players are not good enough. Now I'm just making sure people don't know. I mean, people do know, sorry.
I watched the first half an hour of the game, right? And it was 0-0 at half time, correct?
I believe so. Because because it was early, I was like half awake watching it.
What I seen was Eddie Howe have an impact on the game in terms of game plan, in terms of structure, in terms of setup, the team, off the ball, on the ball, and then...
It says here, did you play 4-4-2? I did not see the line.
No, he didn't play 4-4-2.
Oh, you didn't? No. He was in the 10? This has got it on here as a 4-4-2, so I'm asking.
No, so Joelinton was dropping slightly deeper, and then they had St. Maximin, who was basically floating about and just picking up pockets of space and driving with the ball. What did I see from Newcastle? The same deficiencies, unfortunately, because no matter how good your game plan is, if you've not got a place to implement it, you're going to struggle.
Facts.
Klopp did this last year. We didn't have the players to implement his game plan and his system, and we struggled. Lascelles is a liability. I'm sorry, he is. Lascelles is a liability. I've seen this man pick up the ball in the right-hand channel, and he played it straight to Odegaard's feet, and I'm like, wow, what is this? It's just, yeah. I'll tell you one thing he did, which was smart. Eddie Howe brought the back in. What a save he pulled off that free kick, by the way.
You reckon he's what? That's a genius stroke.
Dubravka is. I've looked at Newcastle and I've always thought Dubravka should be the one to play. Fabian Schär, Swiss international. I've had a Swiss and going Euros. And this man can't get a look at Newcastle. What planet are we living on?
You got played.
He instantly comes back into the lineup. What a shock that is. He then refers to Richie. Why is that? Because he knows Richie and he can trust him. Richie put in a shift. Are you surprised? I'm not.
Yeah, he went to his go-tos. Well, two of his go-tos because he knows them previously.
And he had Callum Wilson. Are you surprised? No.
Callum Wilson as well, that's a shot. Yeah, that's a fair point, valid point.
Because he trusts these players and he knows how to get a reaction and he knows what button to press to get a reaction out of them. And lo and behold, they actually did well and they did okay. It's just the same old deficiencies.
Lack of quality. This is a lack of quality.
Just a lack of quality.
Yeah.
Which I think will seriously get addressed in.
They have to get, you know what? Because we were looking at their fixtures and we spoke on this. It's Newcastle Norwich tomorrow. That's a massive game.
Oh, that's huge.
That is huge.
And I don't think you can underestimate how big of a game that is.
That's a massive game. And I'm saying this now, I don't think Newcastle win that game. We've got a draw written all over it, yeah. I don't think Newcastle win that game. You backing Eddie Howe? Okay, you back in, you get me?
I'm back in Eddie Howe.
You back in Nebraska and the cells and Shire and them, man, yeah? Alright, and John Joe Shelby and Willock. Hey, that's who's going to play.
Willock, I'm back because I think he's got potential.
What about John Joe Shelby?
Listen, I did back this man since the moment. The only time I ever backed him was when he called 30 snitch and walked out the show.
When he got sent off.
Yeah, stupid. I've always been a big fan of Eddie Howe. I was the one that called Eddie Howe going to Newcastle before Eddie Howe went to Newcastle. Because I said he was the perfect person.
You called that. You called it? You did? 110% you called it. You said that. I think it's underwhelming, but that's just me.
No. Listen, I said this at the time. It's a massively underwhelming considering where Newcastle are looking to go. However, you're not going to find a coach that is better on the training field than Eddie Howe at this point that is available, which is why I mentioned him. Lo and behold, 2 weeks later, he's then getting signed onto the job. I think Newcastle pick up the result. Can I just talk about something now?
Talk about it.
That's that contract onto Aubameyang's head. Can you explain that miss?
That's a bad miss.
No, it's not a bad miss. It's one of the worst misses you will ever see. You can't explain it. You just can't. I don't understand what's happened to Aubameyang. I cannot. We're talking about the same Aubameyang that in the FA Cup final dribbled past 4 people and dinked it over Edison. We're talking about that Aubameyang. You can't score from 2 yards out.
Yeah, because form is not something you can switch on and off. We see it with in North London, Harry Kane.
Oh, we do. I couldn't believe it. Do you know what else I can't believe? The fact that they're still trying to play Nuno Tavares and you got Tierney on the bench. Explain that to me. That doesn't make any sense. The same Nuno Tavares that had one of the assists of the season. You know what assist of the season?
So talking about Anfield,
it's a fantastic. What a weight of ball that is. The point where Jota doesn't even need to break stride.
That's facts. That is facts.
What? Come on. Do you know one thing I do like that Arsenal have done is Lokonga and Partey. I actually quite like that partnership.
Yeah, because I rate Partey. I just thought he got Arsenal, but maybe he's getting out. Obviously, we play Arsenal on Thursday. That's going to be a big game.
Home or away?
So, too. Getting moved to. Arsenal getting moved to. Saying this now, people. I've been saying this for everything I've said. It's been 110% correct, especially recently. Getting moved to. I said Oli wouldn't make it to December. Mm-hmm. That's why I pulled out the tweet. Everybody quiet.
Wait. So how many points are back in now as well?
Oh, nice. Yeah. Hey, Zeno.
Yo, why he's got hiding, man.
I did come out here from Zeno in a minute. Shout out my guy Zeno though, because he's got to sing all these other wheels. So we're not forgetting that Zeno.
Nah, I ain't forgetting that.
Yeah, Zeno for that. Yeah, we're not forgetting that.
He is the Homer emoji. He went hiding.
Yes, he did run back up with the Homer emoji quick.
I was about to say,
moonwalked expeditiously. I remember on radio, but yeah.
Yo, that's a whole result.
You did, but yeah, Newcastle I'm looking because they've got Norwich and then you've got your mates, Burnley. Your mates.
Yo, can I just say something? I don't like Sean Dyche, you know this.
Right,
however, did you see the picture of him yesterday?
Yes.
I love that picture. That is old school British.
Love it.
Just, what you called for?
Yeah, what you called for?
When I was down in the factories and it was freezing cold. Come on. What are we doing?
Love that. But yeah, they got Norwich. Then they got Burnley. That's back to back. Both at St. James's Park. That.
I tried so hard.
Yeah, you are fool. God just said me what you was going to say. At least you didn't say that. Thank God you didn't say that. But yeah, Newcastle, they can play Norwich at home, Burnley at home. If they don't win either of those 2 games, it's curtains. Because then they got Leicester away.
Eddie Howe, look at me.
Liverpool away, one sec. Liverpool away, City at home, United at home, Everton away, and that's to the new year.
Right, just wait.
So they legit, if they don't beat Norwich or Burnley, could go to the new year and not have a win. Talk about it.
Put one of the nails in the Burnley coffee.
It's not going to do it.
Do it for me.
It's not going to do it. They get 1 point from 6. Norwich, they're going to draw and Burnley are going to beat them. Saying it now.
Wait a minute. I feel like there's a friendly wager here.
I say it now, innit? What, you ain't betting on Burnley?
Yeah?
I'm not betting on Burnley.
You just said that with chest.
I say everything with chest, because I don't hide. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not like certain people who will tell Bayern Munich to come outside the streams, and then when I click the full screen, they don't want to say it. They don't want to say it with chest. They don't want to say it with the, I can't say what I want to say. Yeah.
Just like when you miss chances on Pro Clubs.
Yeah, stuff like that. I say they don't want to say it with the cojones, that's what I say. Where to Troy D.
But you just
I say with Chelsea, I think they are an awful side.
That's cool.
I think
But
they are
you just
awful.
said with chest.
Yeah, they get.
Burnley going to beat
Yeah, I reckon Burnley.
So I'm saying a
Newcastle.
friendly wager.
All right, cool. But all right, make sure you gamble responsibly, people. We'll do it up there. You gotta do it on there, but definitely have money. We're pioneer people. 100%.
Cool.
We'll do a friendly wager at that. I'm with it.
Have you got your night scarf?
Now green and gold, yeah.
Alright, cool. This is the wager. Newcastle win, you wear a Liverpool scarf for a show.
I'm not doing it.
Now Burnley win, I'll wear the green and gold.
I'm not doing it.
Listen to you.
I'd rather money, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, I'm talking.
We can do a little small thing. Yeah, friendly wager in it. We'll put McDonald's or KFC on it.
Like you got tops hiding. Like
Right.
I'm a lying. My man's been ducking.
I don't know what happened. What did I miss between you and Top?
Listen, that little wager at the beginning of the
that's
season.
I
offered him a free cash out and panicking.
Yo, that's excuse me. I would have KFC on it or McDonald's.
That's a friendly wager. Like
I can't do Liverpool.
Why?
I just can't. I just despise it. I don't want an imaginary boy around my neck. You know what I'm saying? Because it's Liverpool.
It's United. I'm in the same boat. That's how confident I am that Eddie Howe's going to pick up points.
Nah, you can pick a draw. Could happen. I'm saying.
The draw cancels the bet.
Yeah, I can't. I'm on the wager. I mean, I am saying I'm just not on that. I'm not putting on.
You are the Sean Dyche fan club.
I'm not. How am I the Sean Dyche fan club? Just because you're the hey. If Sean Dyche was in charge,
every time I bring you up, you're the first to jump and defend.
Yeah, because you want to go like, hey, if Sean Dyche was in charge of Bournemouth is still in the Premier League. You know what I'm saying?
You are head president of the Sean Dyche fan club. What are we talking about? You are literally, yeah. I've got a best mate who is a Burnley fan that doesn't argue Sean Dyche will be more than you. That's something.
That's because you don't give him credit for what he's done. There's no way they should be in the Premier League.
Understand what I just said. My best mate is a Burnley fan, and he doesn't argue with me or defend Sean Dyche anywhere close to what
he ain't like me. A top claret, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. You are a top claret. Like you are.
You the Burnley colours right now.
Listen.
Burnley colours.
Nah, listen.
You the Burnley colours.
My team colours.
That's
team colours. My team wears this colour. I've got pictures.
Burnley, you trying to get me? You trying to reenact Sean Dyche? Understand that? Yeah, you're footballers. I can't.
But what I'm saying is you are the head president of the Sean Dyche fan club.
I'm not head president. I'm just saying, give that man credit for what he's just doing. We gave Bournemouth and Eddie Howe credit because he played some nice football, and then man got relegated in 3 seasons.
No, I gave Eddie Howe credit for his coaching.
Yeah, his coaching and his football, and getting relegated in 3 seasons. 8th season in, is Sean Dyche not still here?
See, look,
finished 7th.
Look,
is he not? Tell me I'm lying.
Look at him rattled. I fully touched the nerve of Sean Dyche. This man is fully the Sean Dyche. Look at him. He actually got. You can't make it up.
Show me the line. All I said was stay flat. Tell me the line.
See how easy it was to take the fishing hook out.
Tell me the line, yo. Look at this guy. Just say it's Sean Dyche.
Take the look at
Because Sean Dyche is better than Eddie Howe. It's cool for us.
Look, see how easy it was. You just mentioned Sean Dyche. He's like a jaw himself back. No, you know, like the more like winding up toys. That's exactly what just happened there.
This guy
is cool, man. Take a breath, relax.
I wish I could do it. If I wasn't doing a watch for another game, I would do that still. Actually, I think I'm gonna wait. What day is that? Is it an early kick? Let me check.
See how easy that was.
Actually, no, I can't even make it. Saturday, innit? I can't even do it otherwise. I would. 100% I would have done. I watch it on free. But I can't. It's the 3 o'clock kick, innit?
Yeah, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, Newcastle Burnley's the 3 o'clock kick on the Saturday. I would have done one. If I was around legit, I can't even do one otherwise. I would have done one 110%. But yeah, all jokes aside, Newcastle have done. I just don't rate them as a side. Like Southampton.
I don't rate them as a side. However, with the funds that they've got available and Eddie Howe, I think that they will recruit, and I think that they will scrape it. I do think they'll scrape it.
If they're winless, alright. So let's count the games 1 second. I count what game they'll be on come January.
I think they get 4. I think they beat Norwich, and I think they draw against Burnley.
So you reckon they get 4 points?
Yeah.
I suppose that's a good return. So boom. Looking at what? 13 games have been played now, correct?
Yep.
So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Mm-hmm. So Southampton, Newcastle, which is a big game, 2nd of January, is the 21st. Yep. They legit could be 20 games in without a win. I don't think that's unfathomable. If they don't beat Norwich and Burnley, because they're the 2 favorable, all jokes aside, they're the 2 favorable games you're looking at this one. Leicester away is not easy. Liverpool away, you know, City at home, United. Yeah, City at home, United at home, not easy. Everton away, not easy.
Yep.
They legit could be 20 games in without a win. Or even let's say you're right and they do beat Burnley and they won against Norwich. You're 20 games in with one win.
Yeah.
One win.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is, hey, Eddie Howe, if they are at that point and they have 0 wins, then Eddie Howe, he will go up in my estimation. 100%. That puts him in, like, Sean Dyche territory if he does that. That's incredible.
This is what I'm saying, man. This man cannot help but to mention Sean Dyche. Like, you got Sean Dyche posters on your wall, innit?
Hey, I just real recognize real winners. I just respect the judges.
President of the faculty.
Yo, this guy, you know. Because wait, your boy was a Burnley fan, was trying to criticize you and the show more so. But I'm here backing him. Make sure he sees this clip. Like, Sean Dyche is like, he keeps Burnley in the league. Eddie Howe would do that. Just saying, innit? Pretty crazy. Frank Lampard, again, the Norwich challenge, but here we are. But yeah, Newcastle definitely big week for them.
Massive, huge. So, next game, let's talk about it.
Go on.
Aston Villa.
Big up all anyone from the Midlands who's locked in. Any Villa fans. Up there, Villa.
What result?
Up there, Villa.
2-2.
Next Liverpool manager, is that what you're saying?
No, we had this discussion last week. It will end up toxic at some point, yes. And with the greatest respect, and you'll understand this, Solskjaer is a legend.
Yeah.
He's not a Gerrard legend.
Yeah, he's not a Gerrard legend level. Yeah.
A Gerrard legend at United is trouble. I don't ever want to see that tainted. That man's given me so many highs in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Istanbul. Yeah. Cardiff, the Gerrard final. When are you ever going to see a midfielder who's got cramped 40 yards out and the game's done, just hit one? Like that. Carry a team on his back to then put in the best midfield performance in the Champions League final against Pirlo, Kaka, Gattuso, Seedorf in a triangle, and you run them ragged.
He was cold.
3-0 down, and you bring us back. Mm-hmm. I've seen this man do things which I just can't explain. And he is my favourite player I've ever seen in Liverpool shirt. And as much as I'd love to see him eventually manage at Liverpool, I don't ever want to see that get tainted and tarnished. But 2-2?
Sorry, I was just reading some of the comments here as well. Big up to Brian in the comments. Before we get into that, Danzo says Newcastle's plan is to go down. What do you mean by that? That's definitely not in the plan.
That is 100%.
Brian saying Shelby balling out, conceding goals. Yeah. Andrew says Radnick would love comment from Burnley up front. Yeah, he managed running jokes. But back to it, 2-2. And Palace is not an easy place to go. I think before that, they'd only lost to Chelsea and Liverpool, I believe, in the Premier League.
Chelsea and Liverpool.
And even went to City in Rome. So Palace are not a bad side. Vieira's been doing a good job there.
Vieira's been doing a very good job. So I think that's got massively under the radar.
Yeah, because beforehand, I was looking at them, they were one of my picks for relegation.
Yeah, because when you lose Hodgson, who's the stability, like, unknown territory, but he's got nothing to. Edwards is stunning signing, and I said this at the time. Edwards is a great signing for them, and he's scoring goals. But look what happened when you bring Edward in. Benteke starts to buck up his ideas and start knocking some goals in.
What's going on with Benteke? All of a sudden, he found fun.
Can I just say? I remember when we bought him from Aston Villa. Yeah. Do you remember that Benteke at Aston Villa? That man was unplayable.
Absolutely. Quality.
He was terrifying. He was scored against you constantly. Not just anything though, like worldies. Mm-hmm. You see it when you get a big move too early, and I do think that the Liverpool lights were far too bright for him.
Yeah.
And I do think that it had a mental effect on him, which is something that players don't really talk about in football. I do think that had a significant impact on him, and I do think that it's taken someone. Hodgson's not the kind of person to put his arm around you. Vieira is.
Vieira's got more connection.
Vieira's a leader.
More connection, yeah.
And I just think that having that kind of person in around you, and then you've got Edouard in there who also speaks French, will help. Do you know what I mean? So, but what a performance.
Yeah, you've got to give Villa full credit. Again, not an easy place to go. They were deserving of the win as well. And 2-2 for Gerrard. There isn't really much that you can say in it. Like, he's not had the impact of a character at United. However, he's had impact though. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, slap the contract on the table.
Put the contract, give it the table. Hey, he moved to a European champion in his first Premier League game. That's all I'm saying. That's like, who else has done that? Who else has a 100% record in the Champions League? Just saying. But here we are. Well, yeah, am I lying? Sorry when I'm lying, innit? When I say facts, you get me? There's nothing to say. Nothing to say. But Ragnick's coming in, but aside from that, all jokes aside, again, there isn't much more you can ask from Villa at that. I mean, from Gerrard at that point. Come in, turn around, get Villa up the table, a 2 from 2, and not easy games. No, Palace is not an easy place to go. The one was Brighton at home.
Palace away is definitely not an easy game.
Yeah, and Brighton at home was his first game, if I'm correct, was it?
Yeah.
So it's like, no, it's not. And he's got them playing. I'm just checking out the table now to see exactly where they are on the table. They're currently, I hope, to 13th and heading in the right direction. Because I'm looking here form-wise.
Stellar job. And Gerrard, with his passion, and he will invigorate Villa Park, and he will make that a noisy place when you go there. It's not going to be easy to play there, but
that's
So
before you move on,
just mentioned the game.
So when Dan's always said Newcastle probably have clauses to release players if they're relegated, clear the books and come back with a better squad. Go on. The championship's not easy to get out of.
Clear the books. You can't get rid of players to come to the championship. It don't work.
And one thing, they don't need to clear. They got money. And two, the championship is not an easy league to get. Ask Leeds.
Well,
16,
40, you should say that.
Ask Leeds, 16 years. I wish it was 32, but here we are. Ask Leeds. And it looks like they could be heading there this season. We're going to get there because it's looking bleak. When you are in the Premier League and Dan James is your striker.
Do you not think that, we're coming on to the result, what's all about, because I'm saying do you not think the Leeds result's a good result for that? Away at Brighton. That's the result I want to go to next.
We can go to that.
Away at Brighton.
But no, because Brighton are not a good. They're not in. They're a good side, but they're not in form. Yes, it's good for Villa beating them, but they're not in form. They're 0. They've got only 6.
Did you see
5, 6? Yeah, I heard about it. I did not watch it, but I heard they were booing him. And you know what? Have you got the interview?
It got spicy. Yeah, listen, this is listen. I'm a fan of a great Potter, not to the fan where I'm a fanboy like Ryan, but I am a big fan of Graham Potter, right?
You can play,
that interview made me an even bigger fan. I cannot stress to you enough.
But I just want to say, Brighton fans booing the team and Graham Potter is wild. That is wild.
The fans didn't sound too pleased. There were a few boos. What would you like to say to them?
Well, they're entitled to their opinion. I disagree with them completely.
And just explain a little bit more why.
Well, because you have to understand the game, you have to understand who we're playing against, how we played, what we did. I think we're sitting 8th in the Premier League, but maybe the history lesson of this football club. Against how we played, what we did. I think we're sitting 8th in the Premier League, but maybe the history lesson of this football club.
That is cutting edge. We sit 8th in the Premier League. I don't know. Maybe I need a bit of a history lesson. Brighton fans, you got to hold that helmet. Entitlement.
Listen.
Where are you supposed to be?
Where's this entitlement come from? And genuinely, I'm confused. What we doing? I can understand why Arsenal fans start to get annoyed. Do you know what I mean? At least you can understand that because there's actual genuine Premier League history behind it. Brian, you've been in the Premier League for about 4 years.
Yep. Entitlement though. But you know what?
Yeah, but you sat 8th in the Premier League and you're booing because you drew against Leeds.
Yep. You know what?
What are you talking about? Come on, no. We ain't skipping past this.
No.
What? Listen, Brighton fans.
You talk to Brighton fans.
Brighton fans.
You talk to Seagulls to come outside for.
Come outside. I don't get it. How dare you boo a man that is guiding you to 8th in the Premier League? You, man, historically, for year on year, were happy to get 8th in the Championship. It's all about the Premier League. You've got Cummins is sat in Europa League position. You've never been to Europe.
You are sat there.
What on earth?
Yeah, super confidence. Yeah, you're right.
How? You drew 0-0 at home to Leeds. Leeds, regardless of whatever form they're in, they are a dangerous side. When they click into form, it's dangerous for teams. They can nick points off anyone. We know this. Brighton were unlucky because they missed some big chances in that game, right? Cool. Don't boo your team. They're 8th in the Premier League. When you talk about overperforming, they're massively overperforming. This sense of entitlement that you get from football fans that have been to 2 or 3 games and suddenly think that they're going to win the Premier League because they've been on Football Manager and guided Brighton to the Champions League. What planet are we living on? What is going on? I don't get it. How? No, because it is actually a disgrace. Joking, it's genuinely, it's disgusting to see. I don't like it. Brighton are 8th in the Premier League.
Right.
8th.
Right.
That man went to Anfield and put up a fight.
Yeah, they bopped you off the park at Palace. Let's not get that. Don't make the Seagulls go spin the block on you. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, right, I just don't get it. I cannot.
Again, I'll explain it to you. That's what I was going to go by, and then you have your rant. Entitlement. That's what it is.
Entitlement for what?
Well, because you've had it good.
What? No, but what are they entitled to?
No. The entitlement is in terms of because they've had it good for so long. They think this is the norm. Because Graham Potter, this is me giving Graham Potter credit. Because Graham Potter's done such a great job.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
They think that they should be higher. Now them drawing at home to Leeds is now an issue.
Okay.
Never again in any other season, even though it's a Leeds side in poor form. I'm not sure how many years has it been.
Okay. So anyone in the comments, pull up where they finished with the Graham Potter.
Yeah, and like that's what I'm saying.
Now sat 8th.
Yeah, they're sat 8th, and they should be ecstatic with that.
8 positions ahead of where they've normally historically finished in the Graham Potter, but then man, what I get entitled?
Yeah, because they
have a word with yourselves. You have no right to sit there or stand there and boo Graham Potter and that team for drawing 0-0 at home with Leeds, because if you're fighting relegation, a draw at home to Leeds is a great result.
Yeah,
but what? You sat 8th. You have nothing to be entitled about.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, that's the key. The key word is entitlement, and that's what it is. When someone's entitled to something bad, it's like them thinking they're deserving of something they're not. Where you are sat in the league. Yes, your form, in terms of recent form, hasn't been good, but understand your squad. He is overachieving. If someone's
significantly overachieving.
He's significantly overachieving. You just need to shut up and be happy.
The man is sat 8th.
Yeah.
8th.
It's like Ragnick coming in.
If you were 18th, I'd understand the booing.
Yeah. It's like Ragnick coming into United now, and if we finish 4th and win the FA Cup, I turn around and go, well, we only finished 4th and won the FA Cup.
8th.
It's like that. It's like that for me. Like that. You know,
it's not like 8th.
It's like giving, I don't know, it's like giving a sandwich to the homeless man on the street and he tells you, oh, I'm gluten free or something like that. The word to ransom that analogy. That's what it's like. Imagine you do that. Imagine you see, you're outside a shop, you're outside a spa, and you see a homeless guy, you go into the shop and buy him a sandwich. And he's like, oh, I don't like tomatoes. That's what it is. Or it's gluten free. Or I prefer the low fat sandwich. It's like, yo, eat the sandwich, innit? That's what it is with Brighton. You have to eat the sandwich.
No, but like these, not only do these man need to take it out, these man, I don't want to see them at football. Like they do not deserve, like, because there's genuine Brighton fans, yeah, that might struggle to get Brighton tickets, yeah, that are genuine fans that want to see this team play, and you have the nerve to stand there and boo this man and the team that he's assembled, and you man are sat in 8th, have an absolute and give your head a wobble. Yeah. You are honestly, like, you are the reason why certain old school football fans are saying the football's going downhill because of fans like that. It's a disgrace.
It is awful.
8th, and you man are booing.
Awful.
You man are lucky. Without him, you would be 8th in the Championship.
Oh.
Like, significantly overachieving though. Yeah. Come on, man. Like, nah.
Absolutely. You ain't lying.
It's about.
Is it? All right, cool. We'll run through the next set of results quick because Stroll has to dip. So what results did we? Arsenal, Newcastle 2-0, Liverpool 4, Southampton 0, Norwich 0, Wolves 0, and that's why I think Norwich will get a result. A little bit of a resurgence for them. Villa Palace 2-1, we spoke on that. Brighton Leeds, we just spoke on. Leeds are in trouble. Brentford 1, Everton 0. Another team in poor form.
Yeah, very poor form. Like, significantly poor form.
Another team in poor form. Like 110%. You don't get your questions in. I'll keep the show going while Stroll dips. I'll keep the show going and run through. But yeah, Stroll, anything you want to add before you bounce?
Nah, just we're gonna mention this at the end. Anyway. Make sure you subscribe to Southampton City. Yeah. Give them one his flowers, man. As much as I love to give him steak and as much as I love to wind up about being the president of the Sean Dyche fan club. Like, this man is one of the hardest working men you will ever meet. Like, I work hard. This man puts many people to shame with his work ethic. So mine was at about 1,000 streams a week. And the ones that you don't see is because he's on the Burnley fan channel talking about, but yeah, it's Sean Dyche and how much he loves it. But yeah, so we move on.
Guy, yo, love every time, fam. I catch up with you. We're going to keep the show going, though, people. Keep the show going for about 10 minutes or so get your Premier League questions in. I am going to run through the rest of these results as well. So like I spoke on, we'll go to, because I didn't watch it on for this, Leicester 4, Watford 2. One thing I will say about Watford is easily the most entertaining team to watch in the Premier League in terms of watching them. The snow was crazy. We couldn't see the ball. I know people that was there. I was like, yeah, I couldn't see it.
Like first half, perfectly fine. Second half, it was like
As well. You know, he would have been out there again with his t-shirt, man, like Big Sean, Dici and Gabbana. I'm saying he's left with his Burnley shirt. But yeah, as we say, Leicester 4, Watford 2. Because Watford, you don't know what you're going to get. One thing you do know is they attack. Secondly, you know they can't defend. So it makes for entertaining games. 4-2 against Leicester. They beat United 4-1. Beat Everton 5-2 a few weeks ago. Like, thoroughly entertaining. Shocking defending, though. Shocking defending from Watford. For pretty much all 4 goals. Multiple mistakes, I would say. So yeah, shouts to, what's it called? I think it's shouts to, what am I talking about? But yeah, shouts to Watford in terms of just from an entertainment value. For Watford fans, you're pulling your hair out, especially the first goal. Especially the first goal. Like, just clear it. I don't know if Kafka or it was Kafka or Batchman who gave Troost a shout. Because Troost, all he had to do was nod it out. Just head it away. Simple as that. All he had to do was head it away and he didn't. And then, yeah, all he had to do was head it out and he didn't. I don't know why. And then obviously, Leicester score because Watford were in the ascendancy as well. Because I'm even looking here, look how many shots there is in the game, even when I pull up the stats. 18 shots for Leicester, 17 for Watford. Like, how many shots? Nearly 20 shots apiece. Straight shootout. You love to see it. But Leicester kind of turning around their form because they've been poor this season. They were even good against Watford. Like, if you didn't watch the game, you would think they were amazing. Like, no, they were not. Like, Watford gifted them goals. Gifted Leicester goals. And they have to be better defensively. Leicester now are up to 10th as well. We spoke on Leeds and we'll go back to them. They're another team who are in trouble. Do I believe they'll get relegated? No, I believe once Bamford's back, that will sort it out. When you're playing Dan James up front, you're in trouble. You are in trouble. And I know they have a couple other players who are injured as well. I'm going to give my predictions on a couple games as well, people. Where we at? So, where we at? Let me have a look. What results to go into? Brentford won, Everton 0. Brentford stopped the rot. Brentford had to stop the rot. Everton in trouble. And yeah, that's all the games. So what I'll do is I'll give my predictions for all the midweek games and then the Premier League games, and then I am going to cut the show, people. So Newcastle versus Norwich, that's tomorrow. Big game at the bottom end of the Premier League table. I got draw. Leeds Palace. I got Palace. I think Palace bounced back. Southampton, Leicester. Surprisingly, I'm going to go with Leicester. So I got no home wins. Wolves, Burnley. I think Wolves do business. Watford, Chelsea. I think Chelsea turn up and turn over Watford. West Ham, Brighton. Brighton on a poor run of form, but it's the type of game West Ham could drop points in. I go draw. Everton, Liverpool. Let's say draw. Everton, Liverpool. I'm going to say draw. I think Everton turn up for that. Merseyside derby. Villa, City. I think City roll them over. Tottenham, Brentford's going to be interesting. I got Spurs. United, Arsenal, I have Manchester United. These are all subject to change, people. Closer to the time, that could change. Right. 12:30. You got West Ham, Chelsea. That's the early kick on Saturday. Chelsea. I think Chelsea get back-to-back wins. Newcastle, Burnley. All jokes aside, I think draw. Wolves, I'm saying that ish to wind up strong. Wolves, Liverpool. I've got. Yeah, Liverpool. Liverpool. So I think even though Wolves are a good side. But this way, I'll say Liverpool don't get 6 from 6, and I did pick them to draw against Everton. So I'll go Liverpool win. Southampton, Brighton. I think Brighton stopped the run. Watford, City. Then Sunday's game, you got Leeds, Brentford, draw. United, Crystal Palace, I got United. Tottenham and Norwich. Tottenham, Aston Villa, Leicester. I think Gerrard's good form continues. I've got Villa. And then Everton and Arsenal, that's Monday's game. I've got draw. I do have a draw. But we are going to close out the show, people. We're going to close out the show. Well, large up to everyone who has locked in too from a Third Eye View. Much appreciated. Big up to each and every one of you lot. Make sure you hit the like button on the video. And make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Make sure you subscribe to the channel Pi Radio. Make sure you do that. We're here every Monday, 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. had to cut early because Stroll's dipping, but big up to everyone who locked in and is supporting from a Third Eye View. Don't forget Sarcasm City TV as well, people. Don't forget, subscribe over there. Big up to each and every one of you lot.